beloved and holy and only child of our Heavenly Father, child of the one source, child of light, divine. That is who you are. Take it deeply within the consciousness and contemplate what that means. I am the one known as Jeshua ben Joseph. Jesus, you have called me. And it is in great joy that I come to abide with you this evening in your timing, as you have chosen once again to call me forth. Great joy, always, to remember who and what you are. Great joy to be amongst the loved ones, the ones we have known in other lifetimes, many other lifetimes. All of you in truth have questioned, and it is true, you have walked with me in that famous lifetime. Otherwise, you would not resonate with what I have to say. You would not be here in this evening if it were not for the love that you hold for me and the love that I hold for you. Always, throughout various lifetimes, you have sought me. You have wondered, where is that love? Where is that divine magic that I knew when I was with Yeshua? And you have served me every lifetime in the various religious philosophical orders. Other lifetimes when you were the humble peasant, lifetimes when you were the leaders who called forth your affinity, your friends, in a righteous service unto me as to what you believed in that lifetime. Always I have been with you, and always you have been with me. This lifetime we get to do it in a different way, a fun way. I get to use the body to walk amongst you, to speak with you, to reach out and to touch, to look into the eyes of love, to know, heart to heart, the divine isness that we are. Now, you are embarking upon what you call the new year. It is indeed an arbitrary setting that you have said this is a new year, because there are other cultures and other belief systems that set the new year at a different time on the calendar. But for you, this is the beginning of what you have said is a new year. And it is very good that you seize it, take a hold of it, believe in it, and know that yes, everything, in truth, every moment is new. You can always choose anew. If you do not like what is going on in your life, if it is stressful, if it is too hurried, in truth there is no one who makes you choose to run around and to feel yourself under pressure. You are the one who agrees to choose, sometimes, to feel that you are running out of time. And in truth, that is a good thing, to be running out of time, because time is not your master. Although you have been taught that and you have lived that belief system many lifetimes, but time is not your master. You are the maker of time. You are the master of time. And if you want to stop and smell the roses, even in the wintertime, you can do that. It is your choice. And no one has power over you to say, truthfully in any lifetime, to say what you have to choose and what you have to do. Now, I know there have been lifetimes when the motivation has been very strong that you would do whatever the king or the leader of the country would say had to be done, or the master. The motivation could be very strong that you would feel that there was no choice. But in truth, you were choosing to believe that they had power over you. And in this lifetime, you have come through struggles where you have felt that someone else could make the decisions for you and would put you under the pressure to do what they said had to be done. But you are now starting a new year. You are now starting a new time. So the most wonderful thing is that you can choose anew in every moment. We will need more chairs, please. As ones are drawn to the love that they are, ones come to be amongst the family. And so it is very good that your group is starting the new year, finding each other. There have been various reasons that you find yourself here in this evening. If I were to ask you, you would all have reasons, and yet the deepest reason is the love. The love in your heart that you know is truly your being. You are drawn to be with others of like mind. You greet them with the smiles, with the hugs. Sometimes you know them, seemingly. Other times they may appear to be a stranger, and yet no one is a stranger unto another one, because all of you have shared lifetimes together. All of you have walked with each other in other lifetimes. And though the appearance in this lifetime may be different, and the name that you call yourself by may be different in this lifetime, at the heart of it, you know the resonance of divine being. You know the ones that are of your divine family. And more of your brothers and sisters are waking up and asking, what is life all about? I have thought that there are various stages and phases of life that I had to fulfill. Certain careers, studies that I had to do, certain obligations to family that I had to do. But surely there must be something more. And there is. And that is part of the great awakening that you will see sweeping across the collective consciousness in this year that you call 2012. More and more of the brothers and sisters waking up and wanting to shine their light with other ones and to resonate in the love that you are and to come alive, truly alive in the divine beingness that you are. It is very good to see you, to behold your radiance. It is very good that you are here. This year promises to be a year of great change, and I have spoken just now of one of the things you are going to see, the waking up of the brothers and sisters who have finally come to that place of saying, enough already of banging the head against the brick wall, enough already of the struggle of having the chaos in the life and either the actual loss or the threat of loss of loved ones. And they are going to be looking for the deeper meaning of life. Why am I here? Surely there is a reason for my being here, and there is. Surely I am not an accident. None of you are accidents. We have spoken of this in other times. It is not just that the parents got together at some time and had a good time, and 9 months later, out you pop. No, you're all here by divine design, by choice. And every moment is a choice. Every moment, even when you are at the darkest place in perhaps some of your struggles and challenges, at the darkest place of doubts and worries, the light is always there. So look for the light. Look for, you have a song, I believe, look for the silver lining. Yes? And there's much truth in that, because everything that comes to you comes because you have invited it. No, I invited this. Yes, you did, in order to know your power, to come through it, to overcome whatever presents itself to you as a truth, lowercase t. And everything does have a blessing in it. And you surprise yourself at how you can come through various challenges, and you look back on them and you say, wow, there was a point where I thought it was curtains for me. In other words, off the stage of life. Curtain closing, and time to get off the stage. But no, I've been called back for an encore, and sometimes another encore. And this is true. You are here in what you call now your new year in order to have another encore, in order to prove to yourself how divine you are, how powerful you are in that divinity. Not as the world defines power. You don't need to seek that kind of power. You've done that in other lifetimes. You have been the kings and queens. You have been the leaders. You have known how to wield the worldly power. But you found no satisfaction in it. You tried it on for size and you said, it's a bit heavy. But it was what you chose in that lifetime. You have come now to a place where you are saying, I want to know who I am. I want to know the divinity, if I may use that word, of me. I want to know that there is more to life than just filling in the 9 to 5 or the 6 to 3 hours of employment, whatever time. There is more than just raising the family and being loving, which is very good, in the family. But there's more. There is the joy of life itself. And that is what I am suggesting to you in this evening that you seek in this new year. The joy of being. The simple joy of being. Now your world does not say that to you. Your world says that you must accomplish. You have to get out a pile of work every day. There are deadlines that you have to reach, meet, fulfill. The world does not say to you to take a deep breath and to feel happy about yourself. But I say unto you, if not now, when? In other words, allow yourself time to be joyful, to put the smile on the face, and no matter what is happening around you, to stand in joy of yourself. No matter how much chaos may be happening around you, and there will be chaos because that comes with change. But to be able to say, that is not me. I rise above it, as I did on the cross. I rose above the worldly power that seemed that they would have the last choice. But I allowed myself to rise above it and to know my Christ self. Each and every one of you is the Christ essence. Otherwise you would not be here. Take that deeply to heart. What does it mean to be of the Christ essence? It means that truly you are not limited by time or space or by what the brothers and sisters say that you have to do. You are not limited by anything except your own choices, and you are free in every moment to choose anew. As I did. I went through the crucifixion experience in order to prove that one is not the body. You are not the body. You have created the body. in order to express the divine power of isness. You are the creators of the bodies. Now I know the bodies scream at you sometime and say that they are in charge. But in truth, you are the one who has the choice to take the deep breath and to say, no, I will abide in peace. In this moment right now, allow yourself to take a deep breath and to feel the peace that comes with that deep breath. You don't have to pay golden coins for the peace that comes with a deep breath. It is a divine gift that you give yourself. The very first thing that you have done when you took the incarnation was to take the deep breath. And some of you felt a great power with that deep breath, and you allowed the vocalization to be quite powerful. Some of you came a little more quietly, but yet the very first thing that you do in this human incarnation is to breathe. It is part of the essence of humanhood, is to breathe. And with the deep breath, you allow yourself to abide for a moment in peace. Allow yourself to take another deep breath, just an easy breath, just to feel the peace that comes with it. Because there is healing that comes with peace. For a moment or so, you can set aside all of the worries. You can set aside all of the demands of the world. Anytime you feel that the world is too much with you, allow yourself the deep breath. There were times in my lifetime that I took myself away from the multitudes, even away from the disciples, and communed with the Father, with the breathing. I allowed myself to return again to that place of peace, that place where you receive divine guidance. Even in the Garden of Gethsemane, I prayed to the Father that what I knew to be a possibility the next day, perhaps there would be a way to make demonstration that did not require that I be nailed to the cross. And I took myself apart from the disciples and I prayed. And I did the deep breathing and I listened. And there was silence. There was peace, yes. And with the peace, I knew that I had to go forward. And I also knew with the peace that I was not going to be alone on the next day with all of the happenings that had been prophesied and that I had intuited. Because I knew the possibilities. I knew the probabilities. I had been speaking a truth that was necessary and still is necessary in this day and time, of the divinity of each and every one of the brothers and sisters, and how they are not and you are not under the thumb of government and leaders and of situations, that you are love, expressing, creating. And so this did not go along with what was being taught in the temple. And the ones who were the rulers at that time and thought they had the power decided that this rabble-rouser needed to be taken care of, needed to be silenced. So I knew the probability of what was going to be happening on the next day. And I did ask, perhaps this cup could pass from me. But it was not to be that way. And in the silence of the deep breath, in the peace, I knew my strength. I knew my wholeness. Any time when the world is too much with you, and I know that from time to time the world screams at you that you must do such and such or be such and such, allow yourself that deep breath. First of all, it is the first step. It is a powerful step. And then listen in that peace. Listen for guidance. And if no guidance comes, breathe again. Keep on breathing. It is a good thing to do for the body. Keeps the body going. And listen. Abide in the peace of that breath. That is the simplest of all things that you can do. And it allows you to touch into the divinity of you. You breathe and you feel the peace. And as I have said, if you do not feel it on the first breath, don't give up and say, oh, I'm a failure. I hear you say that from time to time, and none of you is a failure. That is judgment that comes from the world, and it is not your true nature. You can never fail. You can only create. And sometimes you create that which does not feel like peace, but with the next deep breath you can change it. Remember that. If you remember nothing else from this evening, remember my suggestion that you take a deep breath over and over if necessary and abide in peace. Because there you will connect with the divinity of you, with the true power of you. The peace that you feel is your power. Others can taunt you. Others can judge you. But they cannot destroy your peace. Only you can destroy your peace. And only you can bring it in with a deep breath. So I highly suggest that you allow yourself, as often as you remember, to abide in peace and to listen. Because there are many unseen ones, angels you will call them, loved ones perhaps, who have laid down the body, who want to let you know how much they love you. Perhaps there were ones of the loved ones who did not know how to love you when you were small. And perhaps they passed on the generational teaching that to be hard with you was to make you strong. And all it did was to challenge your spirit and sometimes bring you down a bit. And now that they have laid down the body, they see things differently. And they want to tell you how much they love you. They want to tell you that they understand now that it was an agreement that you would come together and to be born into a certain family. That there was agreement that you would serve each other. And now they understand that the greatest power of all is not the abusive, hard power, but the greatest power of all is love. And they love you. And they wait to tell you. And sometimes you are so busy, and you are listening to other voices, the voices of the world, that they cannot get through. But as you take the deep breath, simplest thing to do, and as you abide in peace, you will receive a knowing from your guardian angel, a knowing from loved ones, a knowing from your inner self, your higher self, that will guide you and see you through whatever is going to be in the next moment or the next day, the same as what I received on the evening in the Garden of Gethsemane. I knew that I was not going to be alone. I knew that I was being guided to make demonstration that the body is not who you are. You are the energy, you are the spirit that activates the body. You are the creator of the body. And so when you take the deep breath and you abide in peace, there is healing that comes. A healing peace that allows you to know that truly you have chosen rightly to be in this incarnation, whether or not your separated ego says you are doing okay or not. And separated ego often will say unto you that you are making wrong choices, that you should do this or you should not do that. That is separated ego, that is separated from its source and thinks that it has power, the power of the world. But separated ego is only that, a creation that you have created to be a companion in this journey of human life. And it will speak to you of judgment. It will speak to you of pain. It will speak to you of worry. But it is not who you are. You are the I am ego that has been forever. And after the purpose of time has been fulfilled, because there will not always be time, after the purpose of time has been fulfilled, you will still be the isness of divine love. So no matter what happens in this year, and there's a lot that is going to be happening in this year, allow yourself the simplicity of going within to that place of peace and call upon me. Always I will answer. Now, in order to know my answer, you have to listen. You may ask of me in that place of peace, what should I do? What is my next step? Am I worthy? And when I come to answer you, you are off doing something else that the world has said must be done by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or whatever time you want to choose. Listen. Take the deep breath. Abide in peace. Call upon me and listen. Always I am with you. There is no place that you can be that I am not. If you descend into the depth of hell, the deepest place of worry and doubt, there I am with you. If you ascend into the heavens and you feel the joy of living, there I am with you in that joy. And I will tell you, it is a good place to abide. It is a fun place. The other suggestion I make unto you, I have said many other times, is to laugh with me. Tell me a funny, a joke. No matter what you are going through, allow yourself to step out of it for a moment or so and to see the humor, the ridiculousness of whatever is going on. To look for the humor in any situation and allow yourself to laugh. Because truly, even as you go through this lifetime and you feel the heaviness from time to time of this lifetime, know that you have lived many other lifetimes, and know that if you choose, you may have another lifetime, either here on Holy Mother Earth or any of the other most wonderful planetary bodies that you are beginning to acknowledge and beginning to know about. Any incarnation, no matter what form it may take, is a choice. You always choose where you will go. You choose who you will be with. It is a choice. There is no great master directing where you have to go. And there is no great master, no great referee in heaven who says, you have to incarnate 89 more times before you will be qualified to be an angel. Already you are the angel in human form. There is no master that has more power than you have. Wow. Gosh. I've gone to all of these channelers and I've listened to all of these masters, and surely they must know what is coming up in this new year, and surely they must know more than I do. No, they don't. Every moment is open to improv. That is how powerful you are. Every moment is open to choice. It is open to improv every moment. Now there are ones who can look at probabilities and they can say, based on what has been past history, there is a probability that in this next year XYZ is going to be happening. But it is only a probability. And you are the one who chooses whether it comes into your reality or not. And if it comes into your reality, do not immediately stand in the place of separated ego and say, oh my God, I've chosen wrongly. Never do you choose wrongly. You make choices. Every moment you make choices, as you made a choice to come to this gathering this evening. Every moment you make choices in order to create and in order to play with your creations. Not to suffer the slings and arrows of the world. Not to suffer. I did not suffer on the cross. That has been a story handed down to you so that you would feel guilty. That somehow you were part of a collective consciousness a long time ago that wanted to and had the power to make me suffer. But I did not suffer. I looked upon the world as I looked upon Jerusalem, and there was a bit of sorrow that I felt because brothers and sisters did not yet recognize their power and the power of love and harmony. And that is where you stand now at the beginning of this most pivotal year. You look out on your world, and there is a bit of sorrow that you feel perhaps that the brothers do not and sisters do not yet understand how to live in peace and in harmony. But how are they going to know that unless you example it for them? Unless you live in peace with yourself. And from yourself, then it spreads to others. And as you are able to go through whatever comes to you and looks maybe horrendous, and you can do it with a smile on your face, you teach others that they have choice. And that is powerful. For them to know that they have choice. That they too can smile in the midst of a beating. Humanness does not like abuse. It feels pain. But if you can rise above the pain and the abuse and the judgment, if you can smile at it, even in the face of what looks horrendous, you change the vibration of collective consciousness. That is how powerful you are. That is what I did. I looked upon the soldier who was pounding the big spikes into my hands. And they were not tiny little nails. They were big spikes to hold me on the cross. And I looked into the eyes of the one who was doing his job, because it was his job. And I looked upon him as brother to brother. And I loved him as I do now, because he has reincarnated and he has followed me throughout lifetimes. Because truly, we are joined in the isness of divinity. And I looked with love, and in that moment, he was changed, because I could see him in love, just doing his job. And he left after that and found another job, as you all can do. If you are in a position of employment or a place where you feel you are being crucified, look upon it with love, and it will change before your very eyes. Allow yourself the deep breath that brings the peace to you. And in that space of peace there is great power to see anew and to choose anew. This year is going to bring you opportunity to look upon a lot of happenings, a lot that we have spoken of in the last decade and a half, longer than that, last 2 decades. We have been speaking of your power and of who you are, and how to use the divine power to change, awaken the collective consciousness. Every time we have met in this way, we have spoken of the great love that allows you to be, and to be all that you choose to be. You are the expression of the one source, the Creator. You have chosen that you will be here in this year, and that you will usher in a new way of looking at everything, because you will smile. Again, a very simple thing to do. Not always easy if someone is pounding on you, or if it feels like the employer is pounding on you. But to smile, as if you know an inner secret, because you do. You know that you are not the world. The world is of your making, and you can change it moment by moment. You are not the body. You use it, but it is not your master. The friends, co-workers, acquaintances, they all have their own perspective of things, and it may or may not resonate with you, and it does not have to, because their journey of awakening is different than yours. Their other lifetimes and their experiences are different from what you have had, and what they have brought with them into this lifetime is different than what you have brought into this lifetime. So you cannot judge another one's journey, and they cannot judge your journey. They may try. Oftentimes, friends and colleagues will judge. But how can they judge when they have not walked in your sandals? They cannot know what you have experienced, either in this lifetime or other lifetimes. So they judge imperfectly. So you listen to them, you let them say what they are going to say, and then you smile. And they wonder, how can she smile when I have just said that she is the most uninformed, misread, ununderstanding person who ever walked the face of the earth, how can she smile? And he even looks like he loves me. And I have just used a lot of 4-letter words. How can he smile at me? Easy. Because you know who and what they are at the soul level. It may not be what they're acting, but in their essence, the deepest part of them, their true being, they are the Christ. And you recognize the Christ and you love the Christ. You may not love the actions or the choices that they make, but you love their being. And you can smile in the midst of whatever is coming down. This year, you have had prophecy that it is going to be a most changing year. And it is. Because you are changing. You are ready. You are ready for the peace that the world does not know. The peace that passes the understanding of the world. You can go to your inner self, that place of peace and silence within, and know that always you will be taken care of. I guarantee it. It is true. No matter what you face, you will be taken care of, and you will come through it healed, whole, and knowing your divinity. Not as the world defines everything, but as your divinity defines it. This is the most wonderful year that you are creating. You have known in other lifetimes the process that has led to this year. You have been preparing for the consciousness of this year. All other lifetimes, from the moment you descended into density, from the moment you began to forget who you are, from the moment you decided you would identify with your creations rather than identifying with the creative force that you are, from the moment you descended into density and forgot who you are, you started a process which is now coming to fruition. It is a process of light, more and more light coming into your experience, more and more light coming into your body, more and more light coming into your relationships, more and more light coming into your heart, to the place where you walk every day with a smile on the face, because you know who you are, and it feels good. I know that which you are. I honor that which you are. I love that which you are, always and forever. So be it.